Right, today we're going to learn about the introduction to ecology. Now, this section of ecology is going to look at interactions between living things and non-living things and the way they interact with each other.
Yes.
So now, what are the living things that you know that you can talk to me about? Give me an example of a living thing. I don't hear you. Lion, angit. People. Elephants. Are you only giving me animals? What about plants? Plants also, angit?
Yes.
They are living things, angit? Those are the things you can see there in the picture. Right. So we're going to talk about organism, and we're going to look at what is a species, angit? So let's have a look. What is an organism? Organism is an individual living thing, angit? So for example, there, what do you have? What are the living things that you can see there on my picture? On the what is that one? Frog, angit?
Yes.
And then what is that one over there? A bird or a fowl, angit?
Yes.
And that one there, down there on the left, bottom left, tortoise. And that one? Gorilla, angit? So those are what? Individual living thing. We call it what? An organism, angit?
Yes.
Even if we're looking at one tree, we will call it what? An organism, angit?
Yes.
Right. What about species? Species, so this group, angit? We're talking about what? A group of the same organism that are able to breed and produce fertile organisms. Like we can see there, we can see, what are those species? Penguins, angit? What about there? Polar bear, numgana wayo, angit? Yes, so those are what? We look at them and we say they are the species and they are the same, angit? Let's look at how an organism come about. When we start with an organism, we have a look at it being one. City A or is what? It's an organism, angit?
Yes.
They are like, you can see there, bonke, abo, buffalo. We now call them what? The population. That is one way of grouping what? Of studying what? The living things and the non-living things and how they interact with the environment. Angit? Start ecology, we can divide the ecology into 4 groups. Angit? Start, we can have what? Population, community, communities. After communities, what do we have? Ecosystem, angit? After ecosystem, so if we've got a group of ecosystems, we're looking at them together, we will say we've got what? The biosphere, angit? So if you look there, we start with what? Sorry, we have got the organism there, and then it forms what? The population, if they are the same. Now we've got how many populations there? Population of rhino, population of zebra, and a population of what? James Bok, kanjalo, angit? Nabo giraffe, angit?
Yes.
When we are looking at them in that environment where we find them, we will say this is a community, angit? And then from there, when we have got different communities, now we can say we've got what? The ecosystem, angit? Kulapho ke ku ecosystem ke sesibheke focus only also on the what? Non-living things. With labo communities labo, how do they interact with the non-living things around them? Non-living things such as water, soil, rocks, temperature, kanjalo kanjalo ke angithi. Those are the factors that facilitate life angithi. Sazwana bantwana. Then after we have had ecosystems, then we can say these ecosystems now they make what? The biosphere. Let's have a look at it. That is what we wrote. That's what we have in our notes. Angithi. We say the study, ecology is what? The study of organisms and their relationships with their environment. So studies are non-living things and non-living things. Angithi. We are looking at the study between them. Angithi. So funubona ini ubudlelwano between them. Angithi. Yeah, have your notes ready so that if there is something extra ewibonayo ufuna ukuyi-add ewucabanga ukuthi awunayo uyifake. Angithi. Be an active learner. Don't be a passive learner. Ohlala phansi nje abe aphathwa ubuthongo. Akusheshe. So, you've got that definition. Ecology is the study of organisms and their what? And their relationship with their environment. So, interaction between living things and non-living things. That we can divide it into other groups. And four. Population, community, ecosystem, biosphere. Yes. So let's look at the definition of population. Population is a group of individuals of the same species that live in the same area at any given time. So, for example, you can see there in the picture. What do we have there? We have got abo penguin. They are made of the same species, and we find them there on that icy condition. So they are the same, same species. Yes. They are fun. So we will say they are a population. Yes. Just open the door there. It's quite hot in here. Just open the window down there also. I initially thought it's going to be right. It is the same. It is a group of individuals of the same species living in the same area at the same time. Angithi. Yona yini population bantwana bami. Now let's look at ecosystem now. Ecosystem now will consist of, now before that there should have been a community there. Now when we have got other communities, obviously they will be different. Now if you get a community of zebras interacting with a community of lion, interacting with the communities of, for example, what? Those birds. There are these white birds that come and sit on the at the back of the inyamazan or a cow. The white one, it come and remove the ticks. Can you see between those birds and the cows? So there is an interaction there. So they are there in a group. They came and they are doing what? They are acting like a doctor to the cow and removing what? Those ticks. So now when we look at that, we will say we've got what? Communities. Ngoba leyo community iyenziwe ngama population anjani? Ahlukile. I-population yani yabo lion, yabo zebra, yabo giraffe kanjalo ke, and those white birds. What do we call those white beds? Those white beds that remove the... Yeah, connecting move.
Oh, okay.
All right. So, kunjalo ke bantwana bam niyayibona? Yes. Mase sichazile ke uthi community, bhala uthi community is made up of different populations. That's a key word for a community. Community is made up of different populations. Different populations interacting together. Interacting together in a given area. So it is a community. Community is made up of what? Different populations coming together and interacting. In a given area. Yes. It's very important that we must talk about the given area. Then now, after then that we have spoken about communities, now we can come back to that one there, ecosystem. Now ecosystem is made up of what? One or more communities and a non-living area, a non-living environment. For example, there in my picture there, what do you see there? This one here. Sorry, I need my cursor here. Let me use my pointer. There, what do you see? It's an ecosystem because we have also included what? It is not only the fish. They are also what? The plankton, zoophyton. Newakumbula, those plants that live in the seabed. Abo plankton, abo zoophyton. Kanjaloge. And what? There is a sand here in the seabed. There is water, there is light. Those are what? Non-living things. So when we look at them together, and the fish there, we say we are looking at the ecosystem, because that ecosystem is made of different communities. Community of plants there, it's made of different species. You can find the zoophyton, plankton. Those are the names of the plants you find there in the sea. Non-food. Nabo fish, nabo shark. Bakhona, you may not see them in the picture, but bakhona somewhere. That's why laba bahlezi bahamba ngani? Group. Safety in numbers. Bantwana. Oh, lovely. Sengizosebenzisa yona lento ukushiftela phambili. Right. Ingakho ke sithe communities is made of different population that live in the same area. Sengikuchazile lokho. Let's go forward. You have already written that. I said it with my mouth. Now let's look at the habitat. Any habitat? What is a habitat? Scotland. Any habitat? What is the habitat of a bird? Nest. What is the habitat of a fish? What is the habitat of a snake? Hole. Can a snake make hole for it? It just go here, it bosses the way. Right. So it's very important that we must know that the habitat means a place where an organism lives or can be found. Siyazwana abantwana? Yeah. It's a place where an organism can be found. Angit. Let's look at an ecosystem. With the ecosystem, we're looking at living things and non-living things, how they interact with each other. Angit. On that picture there, what are the non-living things that we can see? The first one is what? The sun. The second one? The clouds. None. Rain. Angit. Amanzi. Angit. So what?
Yes.
And then non-food. Soil. Soil is not living. Angit. Non-food. Maybe temperature. Angit. Temperature is also a factor there. Angit. Temperature plays a role. Most of the animals, they can live from 0 degrees to 40. Beyond that, some they die. Angit. So the animal will always be trying to find a place where it's cooler or a place where it's warmer. Angit. Depending on the time of the day. During the day, the lion, it becomes lazy to hunt. What does it do? Sit, sleep under the what? Under the shade. This will give to cool up its body. Only when it suits. But when it is hungry, it has to go and what? Hunt. So an ecosystem is a system that consists of group of organisms and their non-living environment in an area. Angit. So now when we've got different ecosystems, when we take them together, they will form what we call a biosphere. So we've got what? We're talking about lithosphere. You can find an ecosystem on the lithosphere. Lithosphere pella, it is here on the soil where we are living. Here on the land. Litho means rock. Hydro means water. The ecosystem that we have seen there, yabo fish emanzini. Abo fish emanzini. Abo fish emanzini. Kanjalo ke, and those plants. Sazwan. Sakumbula, we have just discussed that. Non-food. And the atmosphere. There are some things that we can find in the atmosphere that are living there. About vulture, about eagle, they spend most of their time where? Up there. To try and scan for food. About sparrow. Sparrows, they fly 95% of their time. They eat some of the insects they find. Yes. Now, is that all? And also the ecosystem under the ground. What are the examples of the ecosystem under the ground that we can find? Each one that we can find under the ground. Let's cover it. Ants, good. Earthworms, non-food. Non-food. Snail, yes. Bomili, pig, Scorpion, kanjalo, all those we can classify them under what? The ecosystem under what? Under the soil, underground. So all the ecosystems in the land, in the water, in the air, and underground, when we bring them together, we say we've got what? The biosphere. So Right there on ecosystem, what do you see there on that ecosystem? Give me the things that you can see that are living. Is a rock living? No. Eh? Tree is living, again. What? Oh, grass is living, again. Non-food one. Living things that you can see there. Somebody saying ants. I think it's just imagination, right? So I'm going to imagine how to ants lab. Okay, what are the non-living things? How many I can see? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I can see 6. I spend the day now. What are the non-living things today? What are the non-living things? Izinto engaphili ezibonayo lapha ku ecosystem yethu esiyibonayo lapha ku picture. Shasha phela. Uyabona ukuthi the whole class baphakamise isandla. They want to give answers. I'm giving you a chance. Iziphi izinto ezingaphili lapha? Okay. Msiza lapha. A cloud. Temperature. Stones, the rocks, soil, can we say air? But it is there, and if you say air, yes, I will give you a mark because we are imagining what a vele icona right. Community. It's a beginning a community. I'm going to show you a picture right now that is at the wetland. It is showing Elon as a different. And Elon and they came in what? In their different populations. And safety in numbers. That is the mentality of what? Of the animals. And yes. The animals, they walk in numbers because they find safety. And they want to interact with each other. And now, okay, Basabafikile in the river. One and lap. How many communities can we see?
2.
You are only looking at the animals only. What about the plants? Can you see what these plants? They are not the same. Yes, one about they are not the same. Different species of plants. So now, okay, we can be able to say we've got a community of plants there. We've got a different population of plants, a different population of animals. Yes. Eagle, kanjalo, okay. Even though we see an eagle being one, but you must just know what it has got a mate somewhere around. Yes. Na nilapa or James Pork. So they came there. When we referred them together, we say they are a community. It's made of what? Different populations. Nangi population. Population is made of what? One species. What do we see there? It runs in the family. Neighbor is the same species. Okay. We've also said that 2 parts of an ecosystem is what? Living things and non-living things. Living things, we are talking things such as things that are or were alive or living in an ecosystem. Those are the living things. Examples: animals, plants, insects, bacteria, fungi, and dead organisms. And we refer to them as what? Living organisms. And now again, let's look at the non-living things. Non-living things, we say things in an environment that are not or never were alive. Manje, iyazwakala kahle. Izinto lezi zingaphili angithi. Things that were never alive, things that will never be alive, such as water, soil, rock, kanjalo ke angithi. Or minerals or temperature, kanjalo ke angithi. Those are the non-living things. Somebody was still writing non-living things. Example for non-living things are rock, islands, gas, water, kanjalo, the temperature. Isn't this one of those? So one of them. Right, let's move. So those are the levels of organization. So the biosphere is the biggest. The smallest is what? The organism. Organism, when it is sitting nabakubo, when we look at them, lapha bahlele khona sithi yini population angithi. Manje mase sibona ama populations are different. Populations is into zekhala enje, into is red, into is black, kanjalo ke sizibona zilapha. We will say they are a community of ants. The same thing we can look on that slide there. We say those are community of animals. They are made of different species. Together, those communities, now they will make what? Ecosystem. And then they will eventually form what? A biosphere. Now, what is a biosphere? A biosphere is the region on Earth where life exists. A biosphere is a region on Earth where life exists. Siyakhumbula ku-geography angithi in lower grades they told us what life is possible here on what? On which sphere of the Earth? We've got troposphere, mesosphere, stratosphere, ionosphere out there closer to the sun. Ionosphere, stratosphere, troposphere, and okay. On which sphere are we living here on the land? Go and research about it. But on which sphere are we living? So, but here on Earth, the region where life exists, we call it what? Biosphere. And the biosphere is made up of what? Different ecosystems. Can be an ecosystem in the water, ecosystem in the sea, ecosystem on the land, ecosystem on the air, the birds that are flying there, interacting with each other there, kanjalo okay. The eagles, they're flying there, they see some birds, it chases them, it gets it. That is a place where it is living and it is also getting what? Food. So that's just about it for this lesson.